Hello and welcome to my latest walkthrough with commentary, which is for Atic Atac. Now, those of you who have watched my top 10 will know that Atic Atac is one of my top 10 games. It's an absolutely superb game. Really like it. And I've also already recorded a walkthrough for this, but that one was without commentary, so this one is one with commentary. And like all of the videos that I'm now doing where I'm recording a commentary for a game I've previously completed, this is a new recording as well, so it's different to the previous one that I recorded. So a bit about Atic Atac. The aim of the game is to collect the 3 pieces of the golden key of ACG. And to do this, you've got to run around a mansion, great big huge massive mansion. It's called Atic Atac because the top floor, the attic, you always have to go into. And to do that you have to find the yellow key. And you find different coloured keys that open the coloured doors. You can be one of 3 characters. You can be a knight, a wizard or a serf, and they do play slightly differently. So each one has a different secret passage they can use. The knight can use the grandfather clocks, the wizard can use the bookcases, and the serf can use the wine barrels that you'll see with 1884 written on them. There are another few mechanics to the game. The doors, the white doors, will just randomly open and close, so quite often you'll find yourself stuck in a room with white doors. As you walk around and as baddies bump into you, then your energy depletes, and your energy is represented by the chicken on the side panel at the side, and you can see it's going down there. I was lucky there actually. There are some baddies that you can't kill. That was just seen 2 of them. One was the mummy and one was the vampire. And the vampire can be kept away if you have the cross, which luckily I had there. The mummy guards the red key, and when you pick the red key up, the mummy will come after you. The other baddies that you can't get, right in the dungeons, later in the game you'll see me go down to the dungeons, there's kind of devil that will chase after you, and you can't kill him either. There's no way to kill him. And also in the dungeons there's a Frankenstein type creature. And on this level, which is the first floor as it were, the level above the dungeons, there is a kind of hunchback. Now the hunchback stays where he is and guards a door until you put something down, and then he'll wander over towards it, which is the way you get him to move from the door. However, in this game I don't need to do that. If you have the right keys, and if you're the knight, you can get to the room that he guards using a secret passage. Just up here actually. It's through that red door there. So if you come through this way, I think you get to, yeah, there's the hunchback. If we'd have gone through that red door further up there, we'd have seen basically the other side of that blue door. If you go through the red door and through the secret passage, you see the other side of that blue door. That might do it now. Yeah, through here, that's the other side of the blue door. And there's quite often a piece of the key there. There isn't in this particular game, but often you do get a piece of the key hidden behind that blue door, which is why you have that mechanic. If you're not the knight, to get into that room, you have to make the hunchback move. So a bit more trivia about the game. It was released in 1983, and for a 1983 game, it's actually an excellent game. I think in 1983, this really was the height of the standards that you got. It's an ultimate play the game, and as people who know the Spectrum will know, the Ultimate Games really set a high standard. They had really good graphics, really good play mechanics, really good gameplay, and this was kind of a festive. It was one of the very first of these big sprawling maze arcade adventure type games where you had to run around and do tasks. Another part of the play mechanic actually that I forgot now is, of course, you can collect food to replenish your energy. So when you get some food, your chicken goes from bones to fleshy, which means that you've got a bit more energy. But it repletes really slowly. It's not quite like in Starquake. I mentioned in my walkthrough Starquake. I think that's quite similar to Atic Atac in a few ways. But in Starquake, basically, once you've collected energy, it never comes back. Things do reappear in Atic Atac. You do every now and then get a bit more energy appear. However, this has just gone into the attic there. This is the top floor. That's where you need the yellow key to go into the attic. However, it replenishes really slowly. The food replenishes very slowly. So really what you've got to do is leave it if you don't think you need it, or you can't avoid it, as in the case there where I went through that room. It's best to leave it. Now I'm actually collecting quite a bit in this room. One of the reasons I'm collecting quite a bit in the attic is you tend to only go into the attic once. You tend to only go into the attic to get the piece of the key you need. There's always one piece there. So you'll go in and do that. I think I might have seen 2 pieces. I know that in this game, one of the things I did try to do is show as much of the game as possible. So a bit more trivia about the game. Yeah, it was released in 1983. It received a crash smash, as I think nearly every single Ultimate did back then anyway. It got 92 overall, and for value for money it got 95, which is a bit strange actually, because Lunar Jetman, I don't know if anyone remembers this in Crash, it got something like 99% for value for money, which was a really, really high score. I think it was the highest they've ever given for that at that time. So it was strange that this only got that, when this, if anything, is a better and bigger game. But there you go. They probably came under a bit of criticism for that score. So the general tactic in Atic Atac that I've just used there is when you find a piece of the key, you go back to the start and leave it by the start door, and then at the end you just can pick them all up and assemble them back at the start. So I found the first piece, which is the bulb piece, which is always in the attic, as I said earlier. And the next 2 pieces tend to be in set positions. I nearly always find that one's in the dungeon, and anyone who plays this regularly will tell you the same. One piece is nearly always in the dungeon. And the final piece tends to be in one of the levels in between, so one of the 3 levels in between the dungeon or the attic. That's another play mechanic, the falling down through the trapdoors. You can fall down through those wooden looking trapdoors and get to other levels. I think at this point I decided to go into the dungeon. We're going to see that devil. I think it's called a devil witch. He's described as a devil witch in the actual blurb around the game, in the game instructions. Of course, the other thing that many Ultimate games had was very, very little in the way of instructions. Kind of just a few lines, a few paragraphs, a rhyme or something like that to tell you what to do around the game, and that would frustrate some gamers. Now I've gone back and I've had a look at Crash, and Lunar Jetman actually received 100% for value for money in Crash. So like earlier I said it got 99%. It actually got 99% for graphics, but it got 100% for value for money. So it got even higher than I said. And as I say, 100% is pretty amazing, and I think they came under some criticism, so change that. Now here we have Frankenstein, and I just killed him, and the way you kill Frankenstein is you pick up that spanner. So if you get the blue spanner, which is 2 or 3 rooms to the left of where Frankenstein is in the dungeons, you can kill him. That's the only way you kill him. You can't kill him any other way. And it's quite satisfying actually when you do that. When you find that blue spanner is quite a good thing to get, and quite a good mechanic. I quite like that. I remember years and years and years ago playing this game with my cousins and swearing blind that I thought holy water killed the devil. So there was another object that looked a bit like holy water, and I'm sure, actually I know my cousins still remember this because he ribbed me about it for years, and we still joke about it very, very occasionally now, that I told them that if you find a object that looks like holy water, and I think there was some just nondescript object, I said, yeah, that's it, that's a bowl containing holy water. If we see it, I'll point it out. And I told them that killed the devil. Oh, there we go. There was the vampire Dracula type character who was running after me because this time I didn't have the crucifix. So another thing about this game was the 3D effect that they had. I mean, it's not 3D, but the kind of vanishing point perspective in the middle of the room, so you can see all the walls in each room effect. It's quite good. I mean, it's not 3D. For avid Crash readers, they'll remember that it was either in issue 6 or issue 7 they did an article called 3D or not 3D. And they kind of examined certain games and said, well, there's some games claim to be 3D, but are they really? I think Escape was one, the one where you've got to run away from dinosaurs, and that kind of has a bit of shading. Similar to Trashman, actually. If you're familiar with Trashman, it had a similar game mechanic to that. And there were discussions on whether things were 3D or not 3D. Of course, this was before Night Law, so issue 7 of Crash came out before Night Law. In fact, I think in the same issue, either 6 or 7, Saberwolf was reviewed. So it was well before Night Law, and they of course mentioned Atac, which is a brilliant game. I have played Atac. It's good, but like a lot of people, I find it really difficult to get on with all the keys. I think it was that blue object. I actually think that blue object there I claimed was a ball of holy water. Lucky my instincts led me back there actually to that room. So there we go. We've got that G part of the key. I like the G part of the key. It looks quite cool, especially with my name beginning with G. It's my part of the key. That. Yeah, so back to the Crash article, yeah, and Atic Atac was in that, and he said, well, yeah, Atic Atac's kind of pseudo 3D. It's not, it has a 3D effect, but it doesn't alter the game mechanic. And of course, you don't see it's slightly mixed anyway, because your character is side on rather than head on. So it's not an overhead view like you get in certain games. Chaos Engine. For the SNES? Yeah, Chaos Engine's for the SNES, isn't it? That's a game where you get that kind of overhead view. Now, I'm desperately trying to get back up the stairs, and I think I'm a bit lost here in the dungeon. Those flashing mushrooms kill you as well. Don't run into them thinking they're food. They're really, really bad for you. I think what I was trying to do here, I knew I was recording this for a walkthrough. What I was actually trying to do was get 100% on the percentage completed, but I don't think, actually you can't get 100%, you can only get as many as 99%. I think I was trying to get 99% on the adventure completed at the end of the game, but of course I didn't manage to do that. So we're taking the G part of the key back to the entrance now. Of course I just realised that I was going the wrong way to get to the entrance, which was a bit unfortunate. If I remember correctly, it's a little while since I recorded this. In fact, I think I had this recording done when I did my top 10, and I mentioned in that I'd already done the recording. Actually, having the blue key there allowed me to take a shortcut. I could have gone through that other blue door there as well. Oh, my chicken's getting low. I can't remember if I completed this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd done this recording when I did my top 10. I think I mentioned in the top 10. I'm not going to say a lot about the game, certainly not the game mechanic and how to play it, because I do have a recording where I go all the way through. Actually, that's another good playing tip for this game that I haven't mentioned yet. When you're waiting for a door, don't stand straight in front of the door. Stand to the side. So when you're waiting for a door to open, if you stand to the side there and push the diagonal, so you're going diagonally into the corner and fire, your projectiles come out diagonally, and you're much more likely to hit the baddies that way. So yeah, looking all over for that last AC part of the key. Now this will take me up to the level before the attic. Oof, just got all that food in the nick of time. See, I think I'd gone past some of that food earlier, so leaving it so that I was able to get it later in the game was a good move. Now this kind of square of rooms here, there's 4 rooms all together here, and quite often there's a piece of the key in there. There isn't this time. I always thought that green ice cream cone, that's kind of a green milk bottle as well, isn't it? It looks, the green food doesn't look appealing. Now there's a similar square of rooms where that yellow door is, but obviously I left the yellow key on the top floor, so I think I need to go back and get that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Let's go back and get that yellow key. I wasn't sure it was through this way. I think my best bet would have been... Yeah, my best bet would have been to have gone back over wait until the trapdoor closed in that room near the start, and I've gone through there. There we go. Now what I can do is go back down. And there you go. Straight through this 4 square of rooms, and there we go. There's the final part of the key. Doesn't matter that I left 2 keys there, I won't need them to get back. And now we just need to hightail it back to the entrance. Not getting any lucky with the trapdoors, am I? So we're nearly there. Nearly at the end of Atic Atac. It's quite an easy game. I mean, I'm sure now I completed. Yeah, I completed without losing a life. And I didn't play it particularly sensibly. You can play it more sensibly and easier than that. Absolutely superb game, and hope you enjoyed that. I hope there were a few good tips in there. And as usual, let's watch it all again, but a bit faster.
Got you and you got me, and that's all that we'll ever need. But what if I decide that I want more? Like a baseball bat that's covered in blood from all the people I have clubbed. They're telling me things that I don't need to know. Hey Mikey, don't you know my mind is here, it's always closed. Your arrogance is virtuous in turn, and you're surrounded by the yes men you deserve. Mikey, is so plain to see that everyone you ever meet is hanging on to every single word. The rolls across your mouth and I will always be your alibi to every indiscretion you incur. Hey Mikey, don't you know my mind is here, it's always closed. Your arrogance is virtuous in turn, and you're surrounded by the yes men you deserve. Your house burned down, and though you never made a sound, I knew that you would have the world your way. So we took a different stance.
So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed the music as well. For those wondering, that track is Hey Mikey by the British IBM, and it's from their new album Psychopaths Dream in black and white. It'll be available from the 4th of September, and I'll put the link to where you can buy it from in the notes for the video. So I hope you liked the video, and I hope you like that track as well. Until next time, enjoy the rest of the song, and happy gaming.
You're surrounded by the yes men you deserve.